My name is Cassie Chantel. Y'all call me Coach C. I'm actually here with the WNBA legend, one of our founding members of the community. First of all, thank you for spending your time and being on the show today.
My pleasure. And I'm glad to be here.
So before we get to talk basketball, because we just had the Atlanta Dream Mystic home opener, I want to talk about your career a little bit. So you played with the Charlotte Sting, you played with the Minnesota Lynx. Can you tell us about your experience with those two franchises?
Definitely. So Charlotte was out right out the gate, right out of the University of Maryland. I was the first female drafted from the University of Maryland right out of the college, right? So going right from Maryland to the WNBA when it was 8 teams, 96 players. So you had to be really, really, really freaking good. You know, there's 96 players all around the world because we still had players from international that was also, a part of the draft or that actually played. So very competitive, very competitive.
So talk about your draft experience, because from what I understand, you went in the 4th round. Right now, there's this stigma about where you go in the draft. Talk about how you went 4th round, but still was able to make a name in the WNBA.
Yeah, so for me, I think I really made my name at University of Maryland on defense. And so that's really what I led with. I think that lots of times when you come in those later rounds, and when you talk about superstars, the teams kind of have their players that they're kind of going to build the franchise around. So you kind of got to bring something that's unique or something that stands out. And I believe my fitness, where I was at that point in my life, I was very, very fit. I took that up very seriously. And then also my defense really stood out. I was so strong that I could, not saying stop Cheryl Swoops, but I could give her a hard way to go. You know what I mean? I had an opportunity to play against Dawn Staley every day in practice and learn from somebody like that who was an incredible person, and then an incredible, obviously, player, and now incredible coach. So it was an amazing experience.
I love that. So now, fast forward, you have Chase Your Dreams Academy. Tell us about Chase Your Dreams.
So Chase Your Dreams Academy was born from me, but as a little girl, right? I'm growing up in Baltimore, from Baltimore City. Urban community. I was bullied by boys, right, coming up, and I had to find my way. And basketball was the hook for me that kept me off the streets. So in Baltimore, you can go one or two ways. You go left or right, and I was able to go the right way and make the right decisions. Right, I had a coach like myself, mentors in the community like myself that nudged me and said, you know what, go this way, don't go that way, do this, don't do that. And so for me, that's why that's where Chase Your Dreams was born. It was born from the authenticity of me knowing what these kids need, right? Because that was me when I was younger, and now me just giving back. So we're doing amazing things. It's been since 2009. I'm president, CEO, and founder of Chase Your Dreams Academy. And basically, we help low-income youth. We utilize youth development, fitness, literacy, fitness, and financial literacy. And those are the three, components. And we have Nike basketball camps, and we have different workshops because it's not all sports all day, and we keep them moving and keep them exciting.
I love that. So I hear that you're raising money right now. So tell us about what's your mission at this point.
Yeah, so we're on a 60-day challenge, right? 60 days of action, a lifetime of change campaign, and really we have a lot of kids out here that's not going to have anywhere to go. This summer, budget cuts are real. A lot of people are struggling. Even now, people are still losing their jobs. Parents don't have it, right? So we feel as though it's important for us to step up as that pillar in the community. Me as the leader, we're raising $1.7 million for 1,500 kids. That's a lot of money in 60 days. But the ambition, it's a very ambitious goal. We realize that. But I think the charge, it fits the financial tone for right now, right? People know that there's a need in the community. So for us to say, hey, we're doing this and you can help and please help us, I think people are more apt to help and give because they know right now the financial climate is kind of tough around the board, especially here in the DMV area. So we're excited though, and we're excited for the kids.
I'm excited for you. Definitely have to tap into that. So fast forward to today.
Yeah.
We have the Washington Mystics. We have the Atlanta Dream. Let's talk about that game. So what stood out to you in this matchup?
Yeah, it was an amazing game from the tip. But I think, I love the leadership, first of all, in the front office. I think that the Mystics has done a great job so far and bringing in some new, fresh leadership. And I think it trickles down from there. It looks like a lot of athletes came in shape during training camp because you can see they didn't look too rusty. You know what I mean? I mean, there's some air balls here and there, but at the overall, they really look good. They look like I mean, to be in the beginning of the season, you're already at 80. You know what I mean? And you're looking. It was a pretty competitive game, and Atlanta's a very good team. Not to take anything away from them. So I like what I saw, but I really like my girl Kiki. I think she's going to be an amazing athlete, an amazing pro.
Absolutely. I have to say, she's one of my favorites. Delano, you already know. I love Kiki, so I'm glad that you said that. I see you got something. What you got?
So, quick question for you. Since we know that your earlier career started off playing with Don Staley, right? And seeing Pow Pow play today, how did you like her game today?
So you can tell that Papa's a champion. You can tell that she's been battle tested. And she's ready there. She's there for the moment. You don't get drafted and make a team and not be primed and ready. And I believe that helped her playing for Dawn Staley. Not to say that she didn't go in and do what she had to do and do in training camp, but I'm sure that the fact that these coaches know she's got that great teaching. She's got that great fallback. And when you know that, and you're trying to pick your team, you're going to go with people that that have been battle tested, and that can kind of step up to the plate. And I think Pow Pow's in the position to do that.
With that being said, and since you're such a fan of Kiki, right?
I am. Yes.
So, what do you project her career to be?
Oh my gosh, that is tough. I don't like to put limits and glass ceilings on. I will say this. I think that when Juju went down, when she was at USC and Juju went down, you really saw her step up in that one particular game. And I think for me, that gives me the confidence to know that she's going to have a long, wonderful career. And I believe the sky's the limit. She's got she's got the Asia Wilsons of the world. She's got some other people that she can kind of chase, right? Because you got three MVPs in that. But if she doesn't work out with those people in the off season, that's where I think that she's going to get better, right? In the off season, and then come back every year and add something like Asia Wilson's done, right? Add something to your plate every time.
And regarding Sonia Citron, do you think that she's just going to be a 3-and-D type of player, or do you think that she's going to actually elevate in the WNBA?
I'm a motivating person, so I think she's going to elevate, right? I think she's going to do her thing. The sky is really the limit, though. I mean, I think you see where women's basketball was when I played. You see where it is now, the skill level. I mean, ladies we were very, very good, very talented. Not taking anything away from us, but I think the way the game is going now and the way that it's evolved, it's pretty amazing to see. Caitlin Clark is the Caitlin Clark effect, and so I'm excited for her. I'll be watching her, and being a fan, of course. So, yeah.
Since we're talking about the differences between the game today and back when you were playing, what sticks out to you on the business end the most with the game now?
So I think that from a business standpoint, the leadership that we have in place with Kathy Engelbart, I think is pretty phenomenal. I think she had a tough situation stepping in, right? Because I think people were looking at the W to say, well, is it going to stay? Well, now we've proven that it's not going to fold, right? We have the support and we're doing well. I think though that we still have a lot more to do, right? I like the people that they brought in. They brought in a chief growth officer to help grow some things in the league, right? They've expanded teams now. So I think, again, I keep saying that, but the sky's the limit. We'll see. I like the fact that that the Valkyries, had their team for this year, and then the Portland is next year. So we have some things to look forward to, and some things on the horizon. And I think she's supposed to be opening back up on 2028 as well for I think more expansion. So we'll see. But it's very exciting to see where women's basketball is right now, and to see men in the stands, and little children in the stand. Everybody's excited about the season. So yeah.
And before we wrap up, I want people to be able to find more about what you're doing right now with Chase Your Dreams Academy. So where can we go to donate? Where can we go to support you?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, absolutely. So Chase Your Dreams Academy, right? cydacademy.org/donate. Again, I'll say www.cydacademy.org/donate. That's where you're going to go, and you can follow me on Sonia Chase Basketball on IG.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Yeah, Hoops Tribe. This was amazing.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.